already recording or no? I don't know, it's connected with the computer, no, it's a stupid question. This is a problem.
Yeah, so can you check if the camera is working? Because maybe it's turned off automatically. Because we're not live, but there's no image.
Working there? Yeah, there is no image.
I don't know.
No, here you don't see the image because you.
No,
you
sta dicendo si è accesa, si è connessa.
But is it work? It's on.
sì. You see black because you.
But is it work? It's on.
Sì.
Yeah, it's turned on.
You
Yeah.
see black because you.
But is it work? It's on.
Sì.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Okay, so we're live.
We're live?
Let me double check just in case.
Yeah, we can tap. Hola, how are you? We're online? I can talk into live.
So, is it private? Let's change it to public.
Maybe that's very nice.
Yeah, and which title do you want to put?
Put like Salon of Espronceda. Anyway, we can and B-Murales. Salon of Espronceda B-Murales. Now we go to. Sorry, I just sat down.
Yeah, I'm amazed that you can do this by yourself when you do like stuff. We have to hire people.
So we're live.
Thank you. Okay, so good evening. We are very happy to host tonight Xavier Bayas for B-Murales and the artist Emily and Reed. I'm sorry for many pronunciation. And we are our special guest for our fourth edition of the Salon of Espronceda. And tonight we're going to discuss about the relation between urban art and society, and also to present for the first time the prize that we just this year we created with B-Murales, and Emily is the winner of the first edition international. Tonight, I think that we are very happy of that collaboration with B-Murales for different reasons. One, because we think that it's so important to promote and also to support artists. And on the second hand, also it's so important to create a new alliance and to collaborate also with association, organization present on the territory. And tonight we are going to discovering and about with Xavier the story about the B-Murales because they have a long experience so Xavier, tell us about how you founded this idea, what is behind the B-Murales and the urban art.
Okay, thank you, Sabina, for hosting. I have to say that for us, it's important to start this relation with you. You were a reference to us when we first came here to Sagrera, so for us it's important to start building alliances with art spaces and organizations such as the one you represent, such as Espronceda. And hopefully we can start working together and make a little art corner in this part of Barcelona. So thank you for that. And yeah, about B-Murales, we have a short experience in La Sagrera neighborhood in Nou Bosque. We are an urbanized center, a space where street artists can develop their work through projects at Nou Bosque, which is the space where we are located. and in different ways. We have space for painting. Artists can go through different open colors and paint. We got always ongoing projects in different hoods of Barcelona. And also we started last year, along with you, this micro residence program, which is a project, a little part of the project where we invite artists to create studio work, but artists that are somehow in relation with public space. And Emily was our resident artist last month. And
actually, we can see some image because about also the space in Bostik. That is one thing that you told is very also interesting because we are in a part of Barcelona. It is the Navas, because maybe our also international audience, they don't know exactly. Actually, we are inside of this building, industry building from I think the 5th or 6th century. And for sure, I think that also for us it's very important to have this collaboration, because we had also during the lockdown, this period also thinking about how we can, proceed and in which way we can also and collaborate to an open call, and also to offer like a residency to an international artist. And I think that actually tonight we go also to discovery, as you told about the street art, with also Emily, that she is quite a cosmopolitan artist, because you were born in United States, and after 10 years I think in Hong Kong, and after you moved in Barcelona, you get moving again in Berlin, and now you come back again. So we are very proud that you're being selected, and then you're part of our, to start this collaboration with you, so you're like the pioneer. And so, Emily, what is about, how it is important for you, for example, artist residency, and also this collaboration, to have between B-Murales and us?
Yeah, well, I think, just having time to devote to creating personal works and studio works that are not for clients is super important for any artist. I think, we're traveling so much when we're painting murals and making street art projects. And me personally, I'm also working with a lot of commercial clients as an illustrator, so just kind of setting aside that time to really focus on making new works and, networking and collaborating in a new city, building a community maybe that I didn't know before, is really important for me, as well as I think for any artist. So as well as space, I think having enough space to work is always a concern for a lot of artists, unless they have their own studios. So just having room to work for me was also really important. I didn't have a studio in Berlin, I was working from home. So coming here and just being able to spread out, make a mess, and work on what I wanted to work on without having to be restricted by the amount of space I had was really beneficial. And as well as collaborating, working together with Espronceda, having space here to kind of rest and meet other artists and the other artists that we're visiting here, that becomes a totally different type of collaboration and community, and just connecting with other artists from different fields that maybe I didn't know before.
And I think, I'm sorry, Xavier, there was a big question about how it was to restart again, because for street art and murals, you need really to be in contact with the community. And I think that during the COVID, everything was knocked down. And how is the feeling to come back, and to stay again on the street, to work with the community, to work in open space? How was this feeling, that or something changed, or you just use the experience of this lockdown and more time for sure for thinking, in rethinking also the way to work.
I don't know. I wish it had changed something, but I don't know if it really happened. I think we forgot. We forget things too quickly.
That's true.
So and we get back to the rhythm again,
Yeah.
and also a lot of projects that got stuck for the lockdown are like rushing again, and so I don't know if the lockdown changed anything like long term in the ways that we work, but I think it was important for this that you were saying, that it gave us the opportunity, us and artists as well, the opportunity to stop and to think, the opportunity to have the time and to give themselves the time to not travel, to not do outdoor projects, and to stay at home or inside a studio and think from another point of view outside of this rush of everyday life. So I think it was important in this sense.
And from an artist's point of view.
Yeah, well, last year was quite isolating, personally, so I was excited just to come and be around people again and have a chance to work together with B-Murals. I've, followed B-Murals projects for quite a while, and I was interested to also get to know them better and work together and make some kind of interesting collaboration, as well as I think just networking again in the community of Barcelona. It was such a kind of isolating year for so many of us, and so having that chance again just to meet new people and be around other artists and encounter new creative projects was really special after this kind of year of working from home alone.
Yeah,
so it was good.
Yeah, I can imagine, because now we go to see also one video of your experience here, because I think that I would like to also to discuss with you how it was also the importance for the local community, because for the people maybe to have also the street art. How is it impact, for example, the society, also this area? How, in your opinion, you can influence or impact, or you can create some bridge with with people?
Yeah, well, I think there's always opportunities with art to tell stories, and I think obviously every street artist has their own stories that they want to tell. Maybe I don't know, I think sometimes perhaps I work on more conceptual stuff or less conceptual stuff, and I think in this case it was a little bit more fun, maybe just kind of this need to escape from last year and just make some colorful works that were fun and kind of just processing everything that happened during lockdown and during the last year. But I don't know, I think it does change your perspective to encounter something unusual in the streets, no matter what that is, no matter if that's something more serious or something more playful. But I do think it's out of the ordinary to see big things painted on the wall. Normally we're just encountering buildings, and the metro and our regular commute. So seeing something special kind of changes your day or changes your perspective, I think. And yeah, I worked on a mural here in Albostic, which is where B-Murals is located, and also created some studio works, which I think we were showing you moments ago. And they kind of worked together. It was a little bit the same series, exploring.
Yeah, well, I was really impressed, really nice. When I saw your work, I don't know, it was nice because it's so colorful, and maybe in this period we need also this kind of energy, I don't know if this is also an influence or an impact, that we were like a very tough period, clothes and everything. So when I saw your work and all this wonderful color get out, I think that for me also that, and I don't know whether you think, Xavier, is also really an impact on the society, because you pass by in a way, you give you in a way different energy. You know, this is also the power, in my opinion, of art. You know, of the artist. You know, it's not that, but some things happen in this moment.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think one of the first and pretty obvious thing about street art is that it's for free, and you found it in the street. You don't need to go to the museum. I think this is one of the most valuable things about street art, that it's the level of democratization of art that it brings to society. So it's art for everyone, anytime, anywhere. So you don't need to go to a specific place to see art, which you are supposed to behave like this or like that. So this is important. It's also important for this, for example, with Emily's work, we were saying that it's colorful. It's a very useful tool to work with different collectives. We do a lot of work with schools, with community projects. So, and it's a very good way to approach people to the practice of art, that it's difficult to reach them from another kind of project. And through these projects, they see, oh, I can do art as well as any other one. So I think it's a very powerful tool to change society. And also, when you see a piece of street art in an unexpected corner, I think it's very important because it changes your mind. It's because it changes the way you perceive the city. It changes the way of the things you think that are possible. So cities are supposed to be organized, and you have signs everywhere, and you have I don't know. People say you can do this, cannot do that, but when you find an unexpected art in anywhere, it's like, well, things can be different, and I think that's the power of it.
Yeah.
I really like what you said about the democratization of street art. Like, I really enjoy that not only can, you know, our peers enjoy it, other adults, but like little kids can easily understand what they see, and older people and people from different cultures. It's really for everybody, and everyone can enjoy it or take photos with it, or just look at it. And I think it's easy for everyone to understand, no matter how old or how young they are. And I think that's quite cool that it can also reach kids, or can reach someone that has never had any experience with street art. You know, it's really just something that everyone can enjoy without having to pay for it or think about it or learn about art history. It's easy to encounter, and something special in that regard.
Yeah, I think that you use the word like democratization. I think that's also in some particular maybe area that are maybe not like in the center. You know, the people sometimes don't feel part of this art world. You know, maybe they are also afraid to go inside a museum, to go in a gallery, just because they don't feel maybe comfortable. Maybe because they are really scared. You know, this part of scared a lot of this art world. You know, in a way. And that's in that case, I think that these projects are very inclusive in a way, because you just open, you know, the window, open a door, and the people can, you know. Also, I think in the moment you act, you know, because when you are in the street and you act and you are doing your murals, the people already have the direct contact with the artist.
Yeah, it takes away the mystery.
You know,
it's like
they can observe, but they can observe with you, but you are part of that moment, you know, of the process. Yeah,
that's so interesting too. I think that makes a lot of sense when you're thinking about maybe museums or kind of more fine art institutions. There is a lot of mystery. How is that created? How does this artist work? And then when you're working in the street, you're there. You're on display. Everyone can see what you're doing. You're not hiding anything necessarily. So in that regard, yeah, it's also democratic. That you're not keeping something special for yourself, that everyone can just see how does it start and how does it end. They can observe the process, and that's quite nice as well. It becomes another aspect of
I don't know if yesterday we can also talk about more humanity in a way. I mean, that's kind of a humanity, because you're right, sometimes also the role of the artist is also behind, and the people also want maybe to give a face, maybe get out of this misery. And I think that, I don't know, I was thinking about street art, I'm thinking also about more like humanity, but also in which way you valorize also the territory. Because in some area, you transformating, and you get also more accessible and also more beauty for some people. In some area there is completely maybe not abandoned, but they don't feel. I think that that I will discuss with you is also the concept of the beauty. Sometimes also the people need beauty surrounding. That is part important of their life, and also maybe. Yes, to have more hope. That's something that the people don't think about, but I think with the street art you give also a new face, valorizing also the territory, valorizing also the heritage in a case of the buildings. I think it's also this aim.
Yeah, I think it's an important fact that that we all are bringing art and murals to this little part of Barcelona, because you, for example, you have an Axel Voigt mural right in the corner. There's Ana Marina just a few blocks away, and these people there are going to be like the Picassos of tomorrow. I mean, who knows? But or at least it's something that makes people think, hey, why is this here? Why do they do it like for free most of the time, using their materials, their time? So yeah, it makes people think, and yeah, I think this is important to have it in this area. No need to go to center to a specific place.
Yeah, and also everything is not commercial, very just in success or money or this society, because we are very quickly, and there is also this actually this tension. I don't know, this pressure also for an artist not to be famous, to be in a way his career. I don't know if in that moment you feel also more free, as kind of freedom. I don't know. I can imagine you have a very big wall and you start to paint. In a way, it's also a kind of.
I think it's very physical. I think you instead of drawing with your hands, you're creating something with your body. So it's almost like you're using your whole body and your arms and legs and climbing and lifting things to create work, and that's quite interesting. Where normally in a studio setting, you're working maybe on smaller things with your hands, but this is really like a physical act, which is quite interesting. And I was going to say too, I think it's also nice to have these art pieces in neighborhoods that are off the beaten path. Like, of course, all the tourists in Barcelona want to go to the center, but it's nice to have something special here for this neighborhood and for the people that live in this neighborhood. That's also quite nice. This, again, the idea of democracy in it. I like the idea of creating works in areas that you wouldn't expect it, or that it's not a touristic area to come to La Sagrera. Most tourists go to like Las Ramblas, and they don't necessarily come to La Sagrera. So, but it's nice to have something here for the people that live here, that is something special for them, and that's interesting about street art. And I think, as you were saying, it's adding some kind of value also for those people, because they deserve to see beauty as much as any tourist deserves to see Gaudi. That I think everyone can appreciate and enjoy beauty, and deserves to see beautiful things or be surrounded by beautiful things.
Yeah, I think that's also an interesting point, because I think that is a kind of also gift for the community, because in a way it's a privilege, but they have their small also art world, because the fact that also artists, they move and they're interested in living their message, their work, is also part of the day life you live the community. There is also this. You started to become also, if you say for 1 month, I saw, for example, when the artists residents are here, what is interesting also, they became kind of cohabitants for a while, of the community. They are not just they just arrive there like guests, but they start to live this here, and everything's here. For example, is lowly than the city. For me also the experience. I go for example, take the metro. I just ride in Classic Catalonia, and the traffic and everything is become more big. You come back here and everything. So there is a day life with the people with their tradition. Also this dialogue between generations. And
yeah, I think this is an important part also about the residencies. We want to connect the artist with the community, with the society that embraces them, because I think it's positive for both parts. The artist obviously he or she needs time to make the project, but also gets something from the surrounding, and also the community gets something out of this relationship. Knows artists from far away they wouldn't know otherwise. So this is a part of the creating process that we want to put the focus in.
Yeah, I think that is a very important point because I think I would like to use the word reciprocity. I mean, it's a dialogue.
Yeah.
And I think that the dialogue is really important. It's some things that also from you, Fabian, I think that you can get an experience, and learn a lot. Concerning, I'm just a curiosity. How is the street art in Barcelona? There are strong movements. How you can define is a corporate with other city? Now I'm really. Because there is also for the street art reason, there is some particular city that there is a movement. Because I saw that Barcelona, is quite strong of that. I think it's just.
Okay, to make it short, Barcelona was one of the hot spots worldwide, but it's not anymore, unfortunately. We are trying to make it work again, and there are a few interesting projects going on, and there's a lot of people doing stuff in the street, but there's a lack of political will to move it forward. In the city hall, in the city organization, there is some people that sees the importance of street art and what street art can bring to the city and to society, but there are still too many walls to demolish to be in the front line again.
Okay,
so it's a struggle.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
But actually, I think historically it's always a struggle for street art. So with a little bit. The relation also with more the politics or the municipality or the public, space. That's I think.
Yeah, but now, for example, what's happening here in Catalonia, for example, is that Barcelona is one step behind of other small towns, like little tiny towns that are believing in this. They have nice walks, nice festivals, nice artists, and Barcelona doesn't. So. We're getting there, and I think people, the thinkers of the town and the urban environment are starting to believe that this is important, but to move all the machine forward,
it's also your mission, for B-Murales now to move this machine and
15
to
years trying to move it.
and to go ahead. Anyway, it's
do.
always pioneers, we have also to start. Because answering curiosity now, because Emily is part of an open call about how many artists you had actually now invited for the residency.
Okay, now we have 2 artists in the micro residency. We got also more demands for next year, and we got also other open calls open. For example, we got a lot of demand for painting in the Novostick. So yeah, there is this there's a lot of people painting and a lot of people like trying to move their art in the street art. Well, I think this is the problem. There's a lot of talent and a lot of creativity here and internationally, but also to develop it here.
And the micro-residency, I like the word micro-residency. It's like...
But you are shy.
That's like, I like this word like a micro-residency because it's a kind of part of the family in a way, because you say it's a longer one, maybe 1 month. But there is some particular meaning of this micro-residency?
Yeah, the initial idea, because we got the gallery, like the big space, and the artists that are exhibiting in the big space are also artists in residence. Not in every case, but this was the initial idea, to make 3 big exhibitions and 3 like long-term residencies. And in between, we started with the idea of this project. That at the end, it ended changing a little bit, and now like the micro residencies, or the artists that are doing the micro residencies with us. More familiar, and it's going to stay.
I love the name.
There's like less pressure somehow. It's just like,
Yeah.
tranqui.
And Emily, how is it important, because you are a little bit nomad, maybe as all a lot of artists traveling in a different town. How is important, the culture in your process, also this process, the connection between different cultures and this dialogue that you can have yourself living, from Asia, from Hong Kong, from Europe, and also when you met here local artists and also international artists. How is important this exchange?
I mean, I think it comes down to something quite simple, which is like friendship and community, and the relationships that you build through these projects, even if they're really short or longer projects. I always think it's great to connect with people, and I think whether I'm traveling for 1 week to another country and meeting that team and working together really intensely for 6 days, you have some connection there, and I think those little relationships are important because you feel somehow part of a community, you feel part of something bigger, and then you kind of realize, we're all kind of connected in that, arts community or street arts community. So I think for me it really comes down to relationships with people and connecting with people that you feel excited to work with, or maybe get inspired by, or you want to collaborate on something else in the future. And the same goes also for meeting other artists. I think sometimes you meet people that totally change completely what you're doing because you just get so excited by their ideas, and you end up collaborating. I've had a lot of experiences like that too, where I've met other artists and we've just become great friends and decide to make stuff together, and it just becomes something completely new, something from nothing. So I don't know, for me that's probably like the more special part. It's just the people behind everything,
Yeah, I think that's also, it's part of also the prize, and this to build this community, and also to this exchange with the artists, and for sure, I think that's so important that you have the space where you can also meet, a dialogue, and for sure, in that case, there is also different discipline from like street art, either using sculptures, paintings, or signs and everything. But it's always this dialogue, and I think that the timing, one thing that I don't know, it was my reflection during also the COVID, and also this maybe the residents, that they give the time to thinking, that just to stop and to have the time just to think in your process, in your work, without any stress or any pressure and everything. It's a kind of luxury now. I think time became a kind of luxury.
We had too much time and now not enough at all.
Exactly. And Emily, what is you can tell us some things during this residency? You get new ideas, you change some things, or some things happen. The process, your really artist process, and your painting, because we can see also from the video that you can show again the video of. At the beginning, we create also painting. So you had, I know that you had like an open studio, so you not just did at that one, but from the beginning. From the beginning. So some things happen.
Yeah, I mean,
you change.
I
You
think
just create something totally new.
I think going from working out of my living room and suddenly realizing, space is quite nice, made me kind of think, okay, I want to make bigger pieces too, and I want to, I do a lot of digital work also, so just having this time to work on paintings again after like about a year, I think I haven't made any physical small pieces. I kind of just thought like, I'm excited to make bigger pieces, and just getting new ideas for maybe the next steps or next things that I'm interested in. So I don't know, for me a little bit it was maybe a transition, like I don't know if I was able to complete everything that I wanted to complete, but I kind of feel like, okay, I started something that's leading somewhere else. And maybe from the pieces I created here, I have kind of ideas for how to build on that for the next series. And also just thinking bigger and not living room size, on my desk, my desk table, small pieces. So I think it was kind of, for me, the residency, maybe like an intermediate step, which is also very important and useful to kind of explore, perhaps in between one thing and starting another thing, kind of this transition phase of creating some pieces that are leading to a new series or new works maybe that I'll get to in the next year. So
I think it's also exciting this one anymore of the residency, that some things maybe happen in the residence and maybe the production will be in next 2 years, and the new idea is born, because it's always a project.
Yeah, it's the idea of exploration, I think, just having that time to create and work on pieces.
I'm very curious on one question about lemon. I saw that it's like when life gives you lemons.
Well, I don't know if this is a common. I don't know if that's a common phrase in Spanish, but in English we have a phrase that when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So the idea of when you receive something sour, so the taste is very sour if you have a lemon by itself, but when you add sugar and to make lemonade, the taste is sweet. So it's kind of this metaphor. But I don't know, maybe it's not translating so well into. Do you have this phrase in Spanish or something similar?
Not with lemons.
Okay, so nobody understood with us.
Only English-speaking people.
Maybe. Yeah, but
this is interesting metaphor.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to ask, because I guess that it was some meaning, a message from your.
Well, I think just that idea of last year was so difficult for so many people, and I kind of just felt like I just want to explode colors and make stuff after kind of being confined for so long. So I was kind of playing with the metaphor. It doesn't really make sense. It's like when life gives you lemons, make art, but it should be make lemonade. So I was kind of in English playing with the words, but
now you put some sugar.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I think that now with all of this lockdown and everything, now really sugar.
Yeah, like something good coming out of it.
Just drink and also maybe enjoy.
Yeah, the idea of perhaps through even though we have hard times, maybe there's still good things coming out of it. So I think that's kind of the metaphor with the when life gives you lemons phrase.
I have just a last question that is interesting for both from different point of view. There is now actually after COVID and lockdown, there is I think that the COVID accelerated some needs. For example, that's or maybe just underline some problems already present in the society. But actually it looks that the role of the artist became so important in society. Everyone now talks about society, art, inclusion, social change, sustainability, and everything, and in which way to collaborate. And actually, I think that the history is very clear about also the role of the artist. The artists, in a way, always they try to create this bridge with the society. But I don't know if, from your point of view, that just something was acceleration, or maybe just COVID helps one part of the society with more like could be more the authority or politics, or the other, or like economy, just to realize how it is important art and culture actually now in the society, and they want really to build this new collaboration with the artists, or maybe it's just because there is a lot of discussion about that. That's now art.
I think what it happened is that COVID and the lockdown reinforced the idea of reinforced the importance of human connection. So when we started to be isolated, as you were saying, we felt how important it is to be connected, and not only digitally. And arts are a really good way to connect people through emotion. That's what art does, right? So I think that might be one of the reasons.
I think for me it was, maybe just time to think and focus in the last year, maybe refocusing. And I think arts, I don't know, I guess from a personal perspective was quite therapeutic, being able to just process the thoughts and process what was happening by making art about it, or by somehow releasing something through creating art. So I don't know, maybe in that sense, for artists, maybe some aspects were easier because we have this outlet, and perhaps some of us maybe speak for how all of us feel through creating pieces. I think it becomes like a language in some way.
Also, I think, I don't know if it's your case, but most of the artists that we talked to during the lockdown, they were saying, it changed really nothing for me. I am used to work alone all the time.
That's true.
A bit true.
So they didn't came out of their comfort zone at the end, so they are like...
This is normal life.
Actually, someone else is very happy to have this time financially to work. No, but I think that you're right. I mean, I think that what we need is really this emotion, humanity, and I guess in that moment, the color and everything that bring always art and the artist is also in which way you connect it, just create this bridge and connect people.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can see also there, that's really nice, you can see the worldwide and the process, and you feel kind of already like that hope. In a way, it's already a message of
Yeah, I think people had a lot of fun too. We had a lot of visitors painting and helping, and it became kind of like a group project, but it was fun.
So it was, so we have a big mission now, Xavier with B-Murales, just to bring again street art, or maybe also. But I think that you're already doing a great job, and we are very happy of that collaboration, because also the city needs art, and I think that urban art is really one point very important also, just to connect, to use our city and art. And so we'll come. I was very happy to also in our salon. It's a kind of virtual salon. We started, but still, we are in presence. It's already a good point because when we started, was everything's online, but now I can see you. The Espronceda is already a good point, and I think that I want also to say thank you. To EXAC, the European Cultural Policy Management in Brussels, that support us and patronage, also to share with their community worldwide, the experience that are happening here in Barcelona. But it's also a way to connect the community and also to connect artists, but also to discussing, to open a dialogue with the different parts of the society. And for sure, for our international audience, or the people is in Barcelona, I think it would be nice to visit Bostik, to visit also your open studio, because you will be here until already
Well, my residency has finished, but there's ongoing residencies, and I think there will be another open studio with the current resident artists. So mine finished about like 2 weeks ago, I guess, but you have ongoing residencies and ongoing open studios, exhibitions, mural painting projects, so, but I think my mural stays a little bit of time, hopefully, in the Bostik, so
They can
visit that for hopefully for a little while, and
because for a while nothing will change, you know.
Yeah.
You never know. It's a process.
Murals change. Will stay for long, sure. But I would like to invite everyone interested in arts to see Emily's mural, to see the other murals, the ongoing residents, and we also like to thank you for the opportunity to collaborate with you, and to have the opportunity to create and to work through these grants, through this prize, to help artists develop projects relating arts and public space.
Yeah, I think how you say art is important, and also for your mission is also to give opportunity to the artists. I think these are some things are very important for that.
Yeah.
And here also we have some walls, very nice empty walls, so we can start to thinking about. No, I think
future collaboration.
And Emily, we are very happy that you are the pioneer of this project, because it's the first edition and we started with you. So I hope that in the year that follow and we started to build, this community between us. That's come back when you want and share your work, because actually now you are part of the two family. You also in Espronceda. So this is also, I think, important for the prize, that you are part of the two community, and the two community are part of this exchange also.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been really lovely to get to know both spaces. It's something I knew a little bit about before, and now to kind of know it personally is really, really special. So thank you as well.
Thank you for this fourth edition of Salon, and also I would like to thank you all my staff from Espronceda and behind the work. I thank you from Alessia, Alexandra, Ovidio, Mark, and Josep, Maria, that really, it is also this very difficult period, the people that is really working very hard also, because to come back to the normality is nice, but also a bit difficult. So I think it also, just thank you to everyone that we're trying to collaborate and everything. And so we are very curious for your next step, so I'm going to continue, with your collaboration and new projects. So we also invited, if you want to just the people be in contact with B-Murales or with Emily, you can get all the information with us. And so actually now we have just to see a tour guide to see your mural.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much, and see you soon.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Está bien.